Good morning, Facebook family, Instagram family. Today is Sunday, and I have a quick message for you today. Most people are doing something today spiritual, going to a church, a synagogue, and it reminds me of a life-changing event. I'm going to show you something here. Show you something here. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? Can you see that? Can you see this from here all the way down to here? Do you see what that is? That is called what happens to people, not you, because it ain't going to happen to you, when you don't make the decision that you need to make, which is where I was at. 6 years ago, 2014, I had open heart surgery. I had an ascending aortic aneurysm. And what they had to do is they had to cut through my skin, open up my flesh. They had to take a saw. They had to literally saw through this whole bone, right? Here's the rib cage, right? And in the middle is the sternum bone. They had to saw through this bone, which they told me later took a long time to do it because I had been lifting weights for many years and my bone had got really thick. They had to saw through this bone, and they had to bypass my heart, and they had to give me, what's up, Eric? What's up, Romel? What's up, Luvina? What's up, Alberto, Irene, Yvonne? They had to cut. So this is my heart, right? They had to cut my aortic, what is it? My aorta, not the valve, above the valve. I forget the freaking name of it. They had to cut my ascending aortic, and then they had to put in a graft, and that is basically how they saved my life. So I'm going to do a freaking video today because I don't want anybody else to suffer this type of a health thing. And it's called the Universal Model of Change. So I'm going to do a video later today, probably tonight. I've got to run to the beach, playing rugby on the beach. And what's up? Thank you, Larissa. What's up, Bob? And then I'm going to be speaking today at City Summit with Ryan Long and a bunch of people in Santa Monica. So I don't have full time to do this today. But here's the thing, I just want you to figure this out. The reason why this happened to me, the reason why I almost died, and I had to have my chest cut open, and I had to have someone to saw through my freaking bone here, right? Saw through the bone, and I'm there laying in bed, clinging this little seconds of my life with my two sons, my 21-year-old son, my 20-year-old son, who at the time were 15 and 16, crying, thinking they're going to lose their father. The reason why I had to do that was because I wasn't fucking listening. I wasn't listening. I was not listening, not taking care of myself, making foolish decisions, burning the candle on both sides of the stick, and I almost died. I almost died to a point where I wouldn't even be here anymore. And we all have certain things. We know someone that's in a life crisis. And usually it's because they're not making a freaking decision that they need to make. They're not making a decision they need to make. So there's an amazing woman that you might know who she is. Her name is Sean Arnold. And she said a quote to me one day. She said, either you make the decision you need to make, Kaya, or the universe is going to make it for you. So I don't care if you believe in God or source or the universe or Allah or whatever your spiritual belief is, whatever you believe in, either you need to make the decision you need to make, or someone else is going to make the decision for you, right? And who is that? Your creator will make the decision for you. So if you are not taking care of yourself, or you are not honoring yourself, or you are being around toxic people, or you are making poor decisions with what you put in your mouth, drink, alcohol, drugs, bad habits, overeating, obsessive behaviors, whatever the it is, if you're doing that, or if you know someone that's doing that, if you don't take care and make the decision you need to make, the universe will make it for you. I'm freaking lucky that I'm here. I'm freaking so lucky that I'm alive. You know why? Because 3 people that you know died. 3 people, 3 famous people that you know died because of the same shit I went through. And who were those 3 people? Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein died of an ascending aortic aneurysm, which is the swelling of the artery above the heart from stress, from doing too much, from not making the decisions that we need to make. The artery grows, and from stress or whatever it is, the cause, food, diet, all this stuff, the artery literally expands so much that it eventually just ruptures and the person dies instantly. Okay, the person dies instantly. So we're talking Albert Einstein. Who's another person that died from this? Lucille Ball. Do we know who Lucille Ball is? If you don't make the decision you need to make, the universe will make it for you. We got to start taking care of our health. We got to start taking care of our mindset. We got to start making the right decisions. And later today, I'm going to share the universal model of change. And what the universal model of change is, it is a way that we literally go through changes in life. And what happens, I'm going to give you a quick snippet. You start here thinking everything's okay. You're in bliss. Then you go from here to the next place, right? So the next position is where you know that you should make a change, but you don't make it because it's comfortable. It's not perfect. It's not how it used to be, but it's okay. It's comfortable. And so you continue to go through the motions, not making the decision, not making the change that you need to make. And then eventually, if you don't make the decision or the change that you need to make in your life, what happens is you crash, you burn. Right? And then when you crash and you burn, you go through shit like this, right? Which I could not be here if my creator didn't pick me and didn't choose me and say, I know you're a stubborn ass shit, Mr. Kaya. I know you're a stubborn ass shit, but I'm going to put you in the bed. I'm going to put you right there in this moment where I can take your life away in a split second if you don't listen to me. And that's what I had to do. So this is for someone you know who is not doing what they need to do. People are in financial challenges. People are in health challenges. People are in relationship challenges. There's family members that haven't spoken to each other for 30 years. There's so much stupidity going around because we live in our fucking head. We live in our fucking head. We live in our ego. We're chasing after something. We don't sit down. We don't get grounded. We don't meditate. We don't have a relationship with who our creator is, whoever that creator is for you. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. You get to believe in what you get to believe. If your father is the universe, if your father is Allah, or if your father is God or Jesus, whatever it is, you know that you have a creator because you didn't create yourself. And your parents didn't create you, so someone created them. So at the end of the day, if you got to go far back enough, someone created someone, right? So whatever it is, we get to start listening to the lessons and get out of our head and get grounded. I'm going to go play rugby on the beach. Yes, this crazy guy had open heart surgery plays rugby on the beach. Why? Because, we're back. Yeah. You are unstoppable. Yeah, no one will ever take you out. Yeah, if you listen and you care and you love and you make the decision you need to make and you start taking care of yourself, you can actually go play rugby on the beach at 47 freaking years old. 47 years old, 50 years old. I will be playing rugby when I'm 60. Why? Because you are unstoppable. No one will ever stop you. You can be anything you want to be. You can do everything you want to do. You can have everything you want to have. But you can't do that without making a freaking decision that you need to make. There are people that are dying around you. There are people that are alive and they're dead. Right? The walking dead. So whether they're dead physically or they're dead emotionally, spiritually, they're still dead. Right? So you got to share this video with someone who you love, who you know needs to make a decision, needs to decide, needs to get back to what they were designed to be and make the decision they want to make. What's a decision? Number one, alcohol. I drink very little. Right? Actually, I should not be fucking drinking any alcohol. I drink very little. Right? That's my last little thing. I have a cocktail, 2 cocktails, maybe once a month. Right? But Mr. Awesome here, Mr. Eric Awesome, Eric Swanson, founder of Habitude Warrior, he doesn't drink alcohol. Another friend of mine, Bill Walsh, doesn't drink alcohol. If you look at some of the most successful people, guess what? It's very interesting. They don't drink alcohol. Why? Get rid of alcohol. That's one thing. It's poison. Tony Robbins, I heard, doesn't drink alcohol. Why do these most successful people don't drink alcohol? Now, what was I doing? What was I doing interestingly around that time? I was drinking a shitload of alcohol. I was drinking vodka like it was fucking water. I was drinking vodka like it was water. Why? Because whatever, stress. And what do people do when they're stressed? You know what? They medicate. They medicate their emotions. How do they medicate their emotions? They drink. How do you medicate your emotions? You drink or you do drugs. Not many people do drugs, but some people do drugs. That's another way of medicating. Smoking is another way for you to medicate your emotions. Why are they trying to ban vapor or whatever that shit's called, the vapor stuff? Because it's freaking the same thing. Instead of dealing with the issue, what's the root issue? Why am I drinking alcohol? We train a lot of people in real estate, a lot of people in mortgage and financial services and salespeople and leaders, entrepreneurs, influencers. Guess what? Drinking is an issue. Why? Because it's stressful. It's not easy. It's stressful to get out there and go out there and hustle and grind and deal with buyers and sellers and all this shit. So what do people do? They drink to medicate the emotions because it's frustrating. And guess what? They drink it, and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, you don't feel good, you'll start eating to feel better. What do? You try to fill up the stomach, right? Try to fill up the stomach, fill up the void by eating. Everything is avoiding the fucking issue. And what's the issue? The issue is, what is the issue? What is the root cause of the problem that's causing you to make these decisions? Right? Another one is, oh, okay, Kaya, well, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I eat pretty healthy. And I don't smoke. Well, guess what? You do something else. You get angry. You get angry or you get frustrated. So you don't do those behaviors, but you visit a different behavior, and the behavior you visit is possibly emotions, right? Sadness, depression, anxiety. You know what? I went through a massive freaking depression. Yeah, this coach called Kaya Redford, who trains all these banks and all these Fortune 500 companies and all these people. And yeah, I went through a freaking massive depression. Yeah, I had massive anxiety. Yeah, there was one day where I thought, you know what? If this gets any worse, I could see myself jumping off this fucking building. I was living in 1010 Wilshire in downtown LA, big building. I was in such a funk. You know what the doctor told me when he cut me open and he did this open heart surgery 6 years ago? You know what he told me? He said, you know, Kaya, I need to let you know, he's the number one, Dr. Cohen. He's the number one heart surgeon from USC, the number one heart surgeon in America. I think he did Arnold Schwarzenegger's open heart surgery as well, right? I think he did, Arnold Schwarzenegger had to have his valve replaced as well, right? And you know what he said to me, Dr. Cohen? He says, Kaya, I need you to know something. And I said, what? He says, you're really lucky to be alive. I said, Okay. He says, and I want you to know I'm going to do this surgery on you. And I go, okay. He says, and I want you to know you're going to go through a depression. I'm like, what? He says, yeah, you are going to go through a depression. He wasn't happy when he said it. He looked me dead in the freaking eye. He says, you're going to go through a depression. I'm like, why am I going to go through depression? He says, because it's a very invasive surgery. We maybe do this surgery on people in their 70s and 80s, but you know what? When we do the surgery on you, what's going to happen is you are going to not have the life that you used to have. And I was just, are you going to argue with a dude? Are you going to freaking argue with a doctor who's about to cut you open, who's telling you that this is going to happen to you? You're not going to freaking argue with a doc. I wasn't going to argue with him, and I just went quiet. I didn't know what to say. In my head, I was thinking, well, you're full of shit. You know, I'm a success coach, right? I help people go through depression and anxiety and fear and all this stuff. This is what I do. And in my head, I wanted to tell him he was full of shit. He knew what I did. And you know what? 3 months later, after having gone through so much crying, so much tears, so much shit, I was with Veronica. And you guys know who Veronica is, right? Veronica Larea. And I was sitting there and I was talking to her. And I said, you know what? Remember when the doctor said I would go through depression? She says, yes. Advertisement for Essential Water. I said, he was full of crap. I didn't go through depression. And she's just looking at me. And I'm like, hello? I haven't gone through a depression. The doctor was wrong, right, Veronica? She says, Kaya, don't worry about it. You're doing good. Don't worry about it. You're doing okay. I'm like, what the fuck? I haven't gone. I'm starting to argue with her. I'm getting frustrated because she's not agreeing with me that I hadn't gone through a depression. Still stubborn, still in my head, still in my ego, still in my issues. And then she says, Kai, you're doing good. Don't worry about it. And I push her and I push her and I push her. Finally, I got frustrated. And I said, what is it you're trying to say? Tell me. She says, Kaya, really? I said, really? What? She says, there hasn't been a single day that you haven't cried in the last 90 days. You've cried every single day, Kaya. I was just shocked. I was in shock. Because I didn't even know. I didn't even know I was in a depression. I had no clue. I was crying every day, and you would think, well, dude, you know you're depressed, you're crying every day. But when you're in depression, you don't even fucking know you're in depression. You don't even know. So slowly, day by day, I had to listen to the message that's calling you, that's calling all of us, right? And it may be something spiritual. It doesn't even have to be. You don't even need to believe. That's the shocking fucking statement. You just need to know that you didn't create you. And you got to listen to your own internal voice. Even your own internal voice that's trying to speak to you right now. That's trying to tell you right now. Listen. We got to get out of this and listen to the internal teacher. Something deep inside of us that's calling us, that's talking to us every day. I don't care what you want to call it, right? We're connected to each other. You got to listen. You got to make the decision you need to make. So type in the comments, hi Letty, hi Grace, hi Veronica, hi Zinnia, hi Josh. By the way, Josh Spitzen, amazing. I'll see you soon, Josh. David, Veronica, Carissa, Vanji, all you guys, type in the comments here. What is the thing that you've been putting off, that it's been speaking to you for all this time? It's been telling you that you need to do this, but you're not fucking listening. You're not making the decision that you need to make. Yes, my rugby game can freaking wait. Oh, shit. What is the thing that you've been putting off? I spoke to someone yesterday and he says, I hate my freaking job. Hates his job. I hate my job. Right? And another person who's in a relationship where they're freaking miserable. They're miserable. You know, people are addicted to misery. Do you know misery is an addiction? Misery is a decision. Misery is an addiction, and it's a decision to stay in misery. And misery is also a habit. It's become so comfortable, so normal that I'm financially challenged, that I'm emotionally challenged, that I'm relationship challenged, that I'm health challenged, that I'm so here, that I'm so freaking used to it, that that's all I know. That's what I do. So it's become a fucking habit. And we've made it okay. We've made it okay to have that result. Misery has now become, oh, it's just okay. It's not misery. Just like when I was in a depression and I was speaking to Veronica and she goes, there hasn't been a single day you haven't cried. You've cried every single day, Kaya. Every single day. Imagine someone cutting you open, right? This reminds me of the freaking Mayans, right? When they used to sacrifice and they used to cut the heart out. This is the shit I had to do. Thank God I had the whatever that thing is called, the going under, the medication. And then when I got out, they had to take this, they had a tube going all the way down my throat, down here. When I had to come out of this open heart surgery, they pull this out and I just heard a voice saying, wake up, open your mouth. And I'm like, I don't even know, I'm in a freaking dream. And I opened my mouth and it was like the freaking Exorcist. It was like the freaking movie Aliens where this thing goes, it comes out of my mouth. And then I was alive. What's up, AJ? What's up, Grace? What's up, Heidi? James, what's up, brother? Get back to the freaking point. What's the decision that you know you need to make? It's been playing in your head, in your family. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Let go of your freaking ego and call that person. Call your brother, call your sister, call your mom, call your dad, call that friend, call that person that you have resentment and anger against. Do you know what resentment is? Resentment is drinking poison and expecting or hoping someone else is gonna die. Resentment, jealousy, hatred is drinking poison, drinking it, and expecting someone else to be hurt or someone else to pay. That's what it is. Call the person. Stop eating the shit. Eat more greens. Start putting greens in your diet. Start waking up early in the morning. Get out there and create your life. The person that changed my life in the very beginning, Bob Proctor, one of my first coaches. And I watched The Secret in 16 years ago. And he says, you create your experience of reality. And I went, well, that's some bullshit. Why would I create being broke, being alone, being frustrated, being angry, and feeling like my heart's going to explode every single day? Why would I create that? So I said in my head, well, that's The Secret and the law of attraction and all this stuff is just such bullshit. You create your experience of reality. How is that even possible? Yes, you do. Yes, we do. And I started to have a breakthrough. I do create my reality. So if your life is not where you want it to be, right, then you created it. No one else created it. Can't blame the freaking president of the United States. Stop blaming the freaking president. Stop blaming the president before him. Stop blaming the economy. Stop blaming this. Stop blaming your mom. Stop blaming your dad. Stop blaming anybody. Look at you in the mirror. Look at you in the mirror. Look, 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 look. There's me in the mirror, right? Look at that man in the mirror. Look at that woman in the mirror, right? Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I have created my life. I've created the good. I've created the bad. I've created the ugly. I've created all of it. And because I've created all of it, see this freaking muscle? See that? See that? Right? You go to the gym, you know, when you go to the gym, what do they say to you? They say at the gym, they say, you know, because I'm crazy. I go to the gym at 11 o'clock at night. Sometimes it's almost midnight. Asian girl, maybe 105 pounds. She's by herself at the gym. She needs to lock the gym up. She needs to put all the weights back because all the lazy people have laid all the big 45-pound plates and dumbbells all over the floor and they haven't picked up after themselves. So she has to put the weights back. So guess what? She says on the teleprompter, she says to you, hey, if you're strong enough to pick up the weight, if you're strong enough to pick up the weight, you're strong enough to put the weight back. That's what they say in the gym. If you're strong enough to pick up the weight, you're strong enough to put the weight back. So here's the thing, so that you can avoid having open heart surgery or having a divorce or having a foreclosure or losing your house or losing your life or losing your freedom or losing your happiness, so you can avoid all this shit, right? If you're strong enough to pick up the weight, you're strong enough to put the weight back. Meaning, if you've created, or you know someone who's created a life that is painful, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. If they were powerful enough, if you're powerful enough to create good circumstances, bad circumstances, painful circumstances, then you're strong enough and you're good enough to take that weight and put that weight back and create something different. If you don't own that it's you, it's me. They say, if it's to be, it's up to me. That's not to mean that you shouldn't have a team, that not everything rides on your shoulders. But when they say, if it's to be, it's up to me, it means that if it's to be, I get to be the freaking change. I get to shift my mindset, pick up the phone, eat right, get to the gym, take care, be more loving, have a relationship with something, right? What does Oprah say? Oprah says, you know what? Look up YouTube, look up Oprah Winfrey, $5 billion woman. The most famous person in television history has grew up in abject poverty, African-American, lived in foster home, was raped, gave birth to a baby that was stillborn. She went through all this shit, right? She became who she became, and she is who she is. Well, we go, well, that's Oprah. I mean, Oprah's just Oprah. I can't be like, no. She got the memo. She spoke at Essence Magazine, Oprah Winfrey. This is another massive breakthrough for me. She spoke at Essence Magazine in front of 1,500 people. She said what I'm saying to you now. She said, look, you all can be who you want to be. You can do what you want to do. You can have what you want to have. She says, but you're asking the wrong question. Well, that got my attention. You know, I'm listening to Oprah, right? I'm asking the wrong question. Well, what's the question I need to ask? She says, you're asking the wrong question. She's saying, you're asking what you want. And she's asking what you want. I want this. I want the house. I want the car. I want the money. I want the freedom. I want the love. I want the relationships. I want that. I want this. I want that. I want that. Which is a lot of material stuff. Nothing wrong with material stuff. It's all fine. It's all good. She said, but you're asking the wrong question. She says, ask not what you want. She says, ask what your creator wants for you. Notice she used the word creator because she respects different people with different philosophies and different religions, just like I do. And it's not even about religion. It's about a relationship with your creator, whoever it is, whatever it is for you. We're not here to tell you what you should believe, just that you should have some belief. Don't ask what you want, ask what your creator wants for you. So what does your creator want for you? Does your creator want for you to be in misery? No. Does your creator want you to put shit in your mouth and eat the wrong food? Because it tastes good because it has addictive qualities in it that has been manufactured to make it addictive to you, just like smoking, just like alcohol, just like all this stuff. Poison. We put poison into our body. And if we don't put poison into our body through drinks and cigarettes and wrong food, we put poison into our body through the wrong people, the wrong toxic people. So she says, stop asking yourself what you want. What you want is probably all attached. Think about it. Think about it. Most people are operating from what they want based on some ego concept of what they think is important, and that shit's not important anyway. So ask yourself a different question. What does your creator want for you? In other words, why are we here? Why are we here? Are we here just to accumulate? No, we're not just here to accumulate. Can't take that shit with you anyway. What can you take with you after you die? You can take away love and memories and contribution. What did you do for humanity? You know, when you give your last breath and you see your kids there, your legacy, what will matter to you? What will matter to you is your sons and your daughters. And what I say, go even further. Everybody, you know, some people think, you know, I'm a whale. Great. Okay, fuck it. I'm a whale. Great. You care too much about people, Kaya. You care too much about the world. You know, like I'm speaking to Pakistan right now. I'm speaking to 2 leaders in Pakistan, right? Philippus and Francis. And we're doing stuff. We're wanting to reach all these people. You know, Brazil, we just launched Brazil, Pakistan, France, Germany, the Middle East, Iraq. I want to change the world. So they go, well, you're such a whale. Well, yeah, because I know at the end of my life, what I physically amass financially isn't going to mean shit to me. What's going to mean something to me is where my kids are at, where my sons are at. Who was I? Did I do something? Did I contribute something to this world? Some people want to leave a mark. Well, let's make sure the mark is not about insecurity. I want to leave a mark. I want to be somebody. I want to be Alexander the Great. I want to conquer and massacre a bunch of people. I'm not saying, you know, we revere, you know, it's funny in history. If you kill someone, you're a murderer. Oh my gosh. But if you kill 1 million people, you're a hero. It's crazy when you think about it, right? Kill 1 person, you're a murderer. You go to jail. Kill millions and millions of people, you're a hero. Shit. It's the ambition of the ego that wants to destroy and kill and conquer for what? At the end of the day, yes, I'm a whale and I'm fucking proud of it. I care about people. I want at the end of my life to know that I did something to create the collective change in this world. Back to the original first thing that we talked about. Either you need to make the decision, right? Either you need to make the decision that you need to make, or the universe will hire a doctor to cut you open and make the decision for you because you're not listening. So the question is, what is the decision you need to make? Get out a piece of paper right now, a piece of paper in a circle, and I want you to put 6 pizza slices. Paper out. Eric Swanson, my brother, Habitude Warrior. Eric Swanson, incredible leader. All right, so get a piece of paper out. And I want you to draw 6 pizza slices. And write down career. This is my brother. Ha ha ha. Oh my gosh. By the way, shout out to my brother Pars. My brother Pars. That is my actual biological brother, Pars, who just joined. His name is Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch just joined the Facebook Live. Captain Crunch, his name is Pars. He's my brother, my older brother. He's 9 years older than me. Shout out to my brother. He lives in England. I love you, brother. I miss you. And hopefully we'll be seeing each other soon. So get a piece of paper and write down 6 pizza slices. Career, family, relationships, health and fitness, personal growth and self-development, and spirituality. Okay? Type in the comments, please, Eric, the 6 categories so people know it and people can remember it. Number 1, draw a circle, 6 pizza slices, okay? In the top one, you could put career or money. Someone type in career and money, please, right now. Anybody, Veronica, Eric, someone type in career and money. Thank you. Number 2, type in family. Family. Type in family. Perfect. Type in family. Number 3, type in relationships. Relationships. Thank you, Eric. Number 4, type in health and fitness. Type in health and fitness. The next one, health and fitness. The next one, type in personal growth and self-development. I love you, Pars. Yeah. By the way, my brother Pars, he's a guitarist. He is one of the top 5 guitarists in England. He's incredible. He rocks the stage like you would have no clue. I'm going to get him over here to LA. We're going to have a big event, and he's going to start the event by doing his thing. All right. Number 5 is personal growth and self-development. And number 6 is, Pars is off to a gig. Awesome, awesome. Number 6 is spirituality. So I say, fuck it. We're talking about going all the way. You know what? Let's go all the way. So you're going, well, okay, Kaya, I need to make the decision. The message of the day is, what is the decision I need to make? If I don't make it, the universe is going to make it for me, which means it's going to cut you open. This is a metaphor for your life. It's going to do this to you financially, or it's going to do this to you in your marriage, in your relationship, or it's going to do this to you in your health, or it's going to do this to you with a family member, right? Someone that you don't speak to anymore, that you don't have a chance to reconcile with, and you'll live with a regret, whatever the thing is, right? And you're now asking me, well, how do I apply this? Okay, well, you want to know how? You drew the circle, you have the 6 spots. Okay, so now the question is, in those 6 areas, rank on a scale of 0 to 10, where you are today compared to where you want to be. So, if your goal, let's go with money. Let's say your goal is to be a millionaire, or making whatever, 10,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 100,000 a month, a million a month, whatever it is. And that's your goal. If today, financially, you're at $1 or minus $25 in your checking account, or $300 in the green, whatever it is, compare where you are today to where you want to be and look at that gap, right? And then when you see the gap, write a number on the scale of 0 to 10. Write a number on the scale of 0 to 10 of where you are today in your career and money compared to where you want to be. Another one, family. On a scale of 0 to 10, where you are today compared to where you want to be with your family, with your relationships, intimate relationships, your intimate relationships. A lot of people, 50%, I heard 60% of the world is single. Not everybody's happy who is single, but trust me, right? They're not all happy. Lonely, right? And then when the holidays come up, they're even more lonely, right? So where you are today compared to where you want to be in relationships. Same thing with health and fitness. Same thing with spirituality. So literally rank yourself on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being the highest. If you're saying I'm a 10 out of 10 career, if your goal is to be worth $5 million, then you already have a net worth of $5 million. If you're not there, then be honest. Don't sugarcoat this. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. I heard that when Oprah did this question, she gave herself a 3 out of 10. Oprah Winfrey. Years back, she gave herself a 3 out of 10 because her goal, her aspirations were so high that she knew she had far to go. So now that you rank, okay, give yourself a number in each of those areas, scale 0 to 10. When then you give yourself a number, now fill out the whole wheel. So career, maybe you're a 6. Family, maybe you're an 8. Intimate relationships or relationships, you may be a 7. Intimate relationships, you may be a 3 or a 2 or a 9. Personal growth, health and fitness, you may be a 2 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. Personal growth and self-development, you could be a 2 or a 9, whatever the number is. And spirituality, I was disconnected spiritually, completely disconnected. I was all in my head. This is why this happened. Because I was in my freaking head. I was not there, right? Wasn't there. So once you rank yourself, so then now you look at your list around your wheel and ask yourself, which is the lowest? Eric Scott's now 12 and all 6. That may be just, yeah, exactly. Could the ego likes to tell you, you're okay. I'm not speaking to Eric, I'm speaking to other people. Your ego likes to tell you it's okay. It's okay. Give yourself a high number because it wants to keep you prisoner. It wants to keep you captive. It wants to keep you in misery because that's how it controls you. That's exactly how it controls you, by telling you that your life's not that bad. It's not that bad. Finances. I haven't lost my house yet. I still have my house. Oh, it's not that bad. I still have my car. It could be repossessed in the next month or 2, but it's still in the garage right now until it gets repossessed. It's not that bad. How is the health? Or no, how's the kids? How's the relationship? Oh, it's not that bad. We're not divorced yet. How are the kids? Oh, it's not that bad. 3 of them don't want to talk to me anymore, but the one that does talk to me, well, he's on drugs, but at least he still talks to me. It's not that bad. How's the health? How's the cancer? It's not that bad. I'm not what? I'm not dead yet. The ego wants to diminish the problems and the challenges we have in life so that it doesn't feel that bad. So what? It keeps you fucking stuck. It keeps you stuck, keeps you in the misery. So when you go around that wheel, ask yourself, what's the area in the 6 things which is the lowest? Which is the lowest? And ask yourself, why? Why? Why am I struggling in that area? What is the root? What am I doing? How am I being? What is the root? What is the root cause of that issue? Why? How am I being? What am I doing that's causing that to be there? I'm playing rugby tonight, yes. Make sense? And then the next question is, if you're strong enough to pick up the weight, boom! You're strong enough to put that damn weight back. If how I'm being has created that result, what's up, Alberto? What's up, Lee? If you're strong enough to pick up the weight, you're strong enough to put it back. Then what can I do about it? What is the decision that I need to make? Because if I don't make the decision, whether it's open heart surgery, or whether it's losing the relationship, losing the home, losing this, whatever it is, it's called the comfort zone. We go through this comfort zone. And in the comfort zone, we don't make decisions. It's not terribly bad yet. It's not terribly good yet. It's not terribly bad, nor terribly good. So why would I need to make a decision? Why would I need to change anything? Because it's not terrible yet, and it's not great yet. It's kind of just okay. If you go through life being just okay, eventually the thing, what's up, Miguel? Eventually the thing that, eventually without making a decision, the nightmare will come. Eventually that thing will creep up and eventually it will be a problem. So Not staying in your comfort zone, not moving, is actually creating a space for a problem to show up in your near future. Not growing. Please write this down. Your number one value in life should be something to do with growth. You're either growing or you're dying. You're either growing or you're dying. People go, no, that's not true. The chair's not growing. The chair's not dying. Well, yes, it is. You're either growing or you're dying. The chair, is it growing or is it dying? The table, is it growing or dying? Some people go, well, it's not growing. Obviously, it's not dying. It's status quo. It's just sitting there. Bullshit. The moment someone cut the tree and took the wood from the tree, that moment the wood was cut from the tree, in that moment, it began the process of death. It was formed into a chair. It's getting old. It's getting decrepit. Over time, it falls apart. So no, there isn't equilibrium. There isn't comfort zone. There's growing or dying. Now, you know people who are 8 years old and they're dying. And you know people who are 70 years old, 80 years old, and they're still growing. So age is nothing to do with it. It's a mindset. Age has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's a mindset. Your number one value. I would even go as far as saying even, and this is going to be controversial, and some people are going to disagree with me, even ahead of your family, even ahead of your own kids, even ahead of your own spouse, even ahead of your own mom and your dad, even ahead of your own family, your number one value should be growth. Because when you grow, you will become a better father. You will become a better mother. You'll become a better son, a better brother, a better sister. You'll become a better work person in business. You'll become a better entrepreneur, a better leader, a better influencer, a better salesperson. The number one value we all get to have is growth. And thank God that I had this. This was God's source, universe, whatever you want to call it, way of saying, I'm going to give you one more chance, brother. I'm going to put you out. I'm going to spare you. But you're going to listen to me. You're going to listen to me and you're going to do as I say. And as a result, I'm here. And I'm here. And I want you to learn from my mistakes, my fuck-ups. Either you make the decision you need to make, or the universe will make it for you. Look at your wheel. Look at your life. What's the thing that needs to change? And how? And we'll have that conversation. The next conversation is how to change it. Absolutely. Can't change that shit by yourself. You can try. But the problem is we live in a bubble. And what did Albert Einstein say? Albert Einstein said, you can't solve a problem through the level of thinking that created the problem. You can't solve a problem by being in your own bubble. You can't solve it by being in your bubble. The only way you can solve this problem is you need to come outside of the box. The solutions to the problem are never in the box. The solutions to your problem in life are never inside your life. Yes, it's inside you. You have it in you, but the thing is you can't see it because you're in the box thinking. So you got to get out of the box. Albert Einstein said the theory of insanity is doing the same thing every single day and expecting a different result. Doing the same thing every single day and expecting a different result. You got to think differently to create different results. You got to do what you've never done to get the results that you've never done. And that shit is outside this. Either you make the decision you need to make or the universe will make it for you. I don't want this to happen to you. Health-wise, financially wise, relationship wise, or any otherwise, I don't want this to happen to you. So we get to elevate our conversation. What is the decision you need to make that you haven't made? That when you do make that decision right now, will be the difference that makes the difference. And I don't know what it is for you. Change the way you eat. Put the alcohol down. Build a relationship with something greater than you. Even if your relationship is not about God, but it's about love. Even if you just decide to be love to the world. Even that is a decision, powerful decision to move in the right direction. Even if it means you got to pick up the phone and get out of your ego and pick up some phone of someone who you haven't spoken to in years. You judge them, you attack them, you separate yourself from them, and you wonder why you don't feel good. Guess what? Our feelings are a feedback mechanism for what's going on inside. Our feelings tell you if when you hate on someone or when you resent someone or you have some energy on someone, if you notice you don't feel good, that's your sign. You know, you've heard about the subconscious mind, yes? We've all heard about the subconscious mind. One of the prime directives of the subconscious mind is that, what's up, Brian? What's up, Arash? One of the prime directives of the subconscious mind is that we take everything personally. We take everything personally. Meaning when you hate on someone, when you go, you're such an idiot, you're such a dick, you're such a prick. When you do that to someone, notice that finger is pointing at that person. But guess what? Notice what's here. 3 fingers. Pointing what? Pointing what? Pointing right back at me. Right at me. So when I say you're an idiot, you're an asshole, you're a jerk, I've got 3 fingers pointing back at me, telling me I think I'm an idiot, I'm an asshole, I'm a jerk. Your subconscious mind takes everything personally. So if you think you can have resentment or hatred or jealousy or anger or frustration with anybody in your life, you've got another thing coming. You have that with yourself. What you're doing and saying about another, you're doing about yourself. And I'll tell you something else. A lot of people are talking shit. I'm sick and tired of it. Do you know how often I meet people just talk shit about other people all the time? So much shit talking. Poison. And some of them are spiritual. Some of them are really, really spiritual. And they talk shit about other people. It's another thing. And you wonder why, you're not happy. Right? Either we need to make the decision we need to make, or the universe is going to make it for us. So my friends, I'm due to play rugby on the beach. When I go and I play, I feel my inner child. I used to play rugby when I was a kid. When I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I associate playing rugby as a kid. It's like nostalgia. So I'm 47. I go play with a bunch of people on the beach, and I let my inner child out. I run like I never had heart surgery. I run like I'm the star. I can be a star for a minute. It's fun. It's exciting. And that's what it's about for me. What do you do? What do you do to let your inner child out? I can tell you something. They haven't allowed their inner child. Oh, Kai, you're going to talk about inner child? Oh, you're not really going to talk about inner child. What the fuck is that? That's you. That's who it is. It's the 6 or 7-year-old inside you. It's the baby boy, the baby girl inside you, the one that dreamed of one day becoming an astronaut, or dreamed of one day playing in the NBA, or being a star, or being in movies, or being a doctor, or being whatever. The inner child that dreamed of traveling the world, seeing the world, doing fun stuff. That part of you that many of us have buried. Many of us don't listen to it. Do you know someone that has chronic pain? Do you know someone who has chronic pain? Guess what chronic pain is associated to? Chronic pain is associated to people that are not listening to the inner child, to the 6 or 7-year-old that's inside you, that doesn't want to be cooked up in that room anymore, that wants to be out, that wants to build sandcastles, that wants to have fun. I'm not saying you live your whole life that way. Of course, there's got to be balance between inner child, what the inner child wants, and what the real estate agent wants, or the producer, or the leader wants, or the father wants. There's got to be a balance, but you can't have one without the other. The reason why people have chronic pain, eventually that child, that inner child inside of you gets so frustrated. The only thing it can do to get your attention is to actually create pain, put you in the hospital. This isn't supposed to happen, you guys. Open heart surgery is not supposed to happen. Your life isn't, if there's area of your life that's frustrating you, that's not supposed to be the way it is. It's happening because you're not listening. Let's not go another year of not listening to what your inner child wants. To struggle. So, again, going back to the same theme. I'm going to freaking nail it. I'm going to get the freaking hammer and hammer it in, hammer it in, hammer it in, hammer it in. What is the decision you need to make that you're not making? What is the decision that you need to make that you're not making? That is the cause. That is the cause. I'm going to say it again. That is the cause. That is the cause. That is the cause of why you don't have what you want. And then also with a bigger question, not just what you want. What does your Creator want for you? Why are you here? Certainly not here for misery. Happiness. Your job in this world is to be happy. And if you've allowed yourself to give away the decision to be happy and give your power away to other person or other people or other circumstances, you've got it backwards. You've got it wrong. Your responsibility is ultimately for you to be happy. And your second responsibility, if you choose to have a greater purpose, is to take that love, take that happiness, and literally share it with other people. Because then it feels great. You can tell what you should do and what you shouldn't do in your life by what feels genuinely great. I don't mean the magic. I don't mean the pill, drugs, or alcohol. I don't mean the medicating yourself with drugs or alcohol or food or sex or this or that. I don't mean that shit. What I mean is genuine happiness where you don't need anything. You're whole, you're complete, you've got it. You don't need stuff to medicate. You can wake up in the morning, you could just be happy just because. So Yegi, you say you have chronic pain. If you have chronic pain, what is the decision? What are you not listening to? What's the voice saying inside to you to do, but you're not doing it? And as a result of not doing it, you're at where you're at. You know, one last thing. We're going to wrap it up here. Albert Einstein said, guess what Albert said? Albert Einstein said, you live in a friendly universe. Albert Einstein said, you live in a friendly universe. The universe will always send you the lesson. The learning will always send you the right person the right situation, the right thing for you to learn. So you go, well, all I keep getting is shitty people that abuse me, that this, clients that give me huge headaches, business, intimate partners that cheat on me, do this, do that, victim, 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 victim. Yes, victim is a decision, and victim is also a habit. And victim is actually the way a person stays in victim. Because what do? They stay disempowered, always playing the freaking victim role. There is no victims. The universe is a friendly universe. It will always send you the right people, the right places, the right things for you to learn and for you to grow. And sometimes what it needs to send you is the painful experience. There's a saying that some people learn a lot more through pain than through pleasure. Absolutely. Pain is a great teacher. Pain is the best freaking teacher ever. This kind of pain is the reason why I do what I do. So instead of rejecting what the universe is sending you, or God, or source, or whatever you believe, or if you don't believe in anything spiritual, instead of rejecting what the world, this is the world. The world does this to me. The economy does this to me. Instead of rejecting what the world is giving you, and saying, no, I reject, and being frustrated and angry at it. Instead, let it in. Let it in. Stop fighting the lessons that are coming your way. You can have transformation in a moment. All you have to do is put your arms down and stop pushing back at what the universe is trying to tell you. Put your arms down and receive. Ultimately, the way to your freedom is to receive the learning, receive the message. What was my message? Build a relationship. Chill out. Get out of your head. Get out of your ego. Love yourself, ultimately, Kaya. Love yourself, because you spent your whole life not loving yourself. In fact, you learned how to not love yourself. In fact, you were taught, Kaya, not to love yourself. You were taught from a very young age. You were taught every single day, don't love yourself, Kaya. You're a piece of shit. No one gives a shit about you. We're going to throw you over there, and we're going to lock you up over there. We're going to throw away the key. Not loving yourself. I wasn't born not loving myself. I didn't come out of the womb. I am the expression of not loving myself. I never came out of the womb going, I will be the one person to humanity that doesn't love themselves. Here I am. No, I loved myself before I was born. I was taught not to love myself by parents that didn't love themselves, that didn't treat each other right, that shitted on each other, loved each other, but had a lot of problems. Alcoholism, separation, problems, lots of problems. And as a result, I learned not to love myself. And then as a result, as I grew up, knowing I don't love myself, now I'm searching for love. And the wrong people and the wrong places. And when I can't find that, I'm miserable. And then what I do, I start drinking, started doing drugs. I used to do ecstasy. You guys know what ecstasy is? Ecstasy, I don't know what they call it now, Molly or whatever the fuck they call it now. I used to do ecstasy in my 20s or 30s. I used to take 4 of those pills in one night. I've heard people that died of overdose on ecstasy. And even after I heard that someone died of overdose, I still did it. Why? Deep pain, lack of self-love, lack of self-worth. And what? I wasn't born with it. I learned it. If you're strong enough to pick up the weight, you're strong enough to put the weight back. So I built this relationship with myself that I didn't love myself. So guess what? This is what happens. I mean, think about it. Think about it. Open heart surgery. Think about that. Open heart surgery. No better metaphor for loving yourself than a surgeon going and working on your heart for you to love yourself. You know what I mean? So the universe is going to send us painful things for us to learn. And it's important that we get the what. Type in the comments the lesson. Type in the comments the lesson. When you are experiencing painful things in your life, you must get the fucking lesson. Because if you don't get the lesson, if you resist the learning, if you resist what the universe is giving you, or God or source or whatever, if you resist and you're pushing back at what it's trying to give you and teach you, which is painful, you are pushing away the learning. And when you push away the learning, you don't change. You don't make the decision you need to make. And life shows up as what? There's people that die. And they never got the lesson. The lesson tried to come to you again and again and again and again. And they die and they never got the damn lesson. Because they never fucking listened. They died in misery, in resentment, in anger and frustration. They literally take their last breath. There's a Harvard study where they interviewed all these people, thousands of people on their last day of their life before they died. And they all say the same thing. Look it up online. The 10 most common things that people say when they're about to die. They've interviewed thousands of people and it's always the same freaking thing. I wish I would have done what I wanted to do. I wish I was me. Not the me that you want me to be. Not the me that my husband wants to be. Not the me that my wife wants me to be. Not the me that the kids want to be. Not the me that the media says I should be. I want to be me. They died in misery because they didn't allow their inner child. They didn't allow themselves to be who they wanted to be. That is the regret. Universe is giving you a message. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. What's up, Denise? What's up, Yegi? What's up, Rebecca? What's up, John? We got to get the lesson. Stop pushing back on what frustrates you, on what angers you. Stop pushing back on stuff that you don't want. It's coming to you for a reason because it has a lesson for you. And if you don't get the lesson of which will help you get over and help you have a better life, if you don't get the lesson, then it needs to give you the lesson again and again and again and again. That's why when someone dates and they go, this guy, and this guy, or this girl and this girl, they're the same with the same type of people. They may have a different name, they may look different, but the energy is the same. Why? Because there's a lesson you're trying to get. The lesson you're trying to get is love me. Love me. Love myself enough to say no. Love myself enough to say no to this relationship. Love myself enough to say no to this client. Love myself enough to say no to my drinking. Love myself enough to say no to my poor eating. Love myself to say no to my lack of wanting to go to the gym. Love yourself enough to get off your ass and do what you know you need to do for you to have the life that you want to have. And ultimately, not just the life that you want to have, the life that your creator wants you to have. And when you finally get the message, when you finally get the memo, and instead of resisting the learning, you embrace it and you move and you listen and you move. This is what Oprah said. Oprah said, don't ask what you want, ask what your creator wants for you. And she says, when you hear that internal voice inside you telling you this is what you were meant to be, listen to that voice. And then she says she's led her whole life by actually making decisions by that voice, that internal teacher. That wisdom inside that we all have inside us, right? Napoleon Hill called it the infinite intelligence. Then she says she moves in that direction. She starts to move in the direction of what that voice is calling her. It's like a magnet pulling you. So make the decision you need to make, gather the learnings, and make a decision. And it's not easy to do that by yourself. It's not easy to do growth by yourself because you're in your own bubble. You need someone else. Here, someone outside of your bubble looking at you that can see what you can't see. It's like driving in a car and you're about to hit another car as you're changing lanes. Why? Because the other car was in your what? It was in your blind spot. You couldn't see the other car in your blind spot. But the passenger in your passenger seat said, wait, get back in your lane. You almost hit that car. And you're like, oh, okay. Because the person outside of you can see your reality better than you can because they're not in your bubble. Albert Einstein said you can't solve a problem by the level of thinking that created the problem. He says the theory of insanity is also doing the same thing again and again and again, expecting different result. The reason why the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordans, and all these great people also have a coach is because the coach is able to see things that you can't see. They're not in your blind spots. They're outside, they're looking at you. So your number one value should be growth. If you want to put God or source in, you can put that number one too, that's fine. But growth has got to be in the top two. Or number one, because it's all the same thing anyway. Spiritual growth, physical growth, it's all the same thing. It's all growth. If you are not getting the results that you want, something gets to change. And how do you change it? You change it by growth, gathering learnings and growing. All right, you guys. I love you guys. We had fun. Later today or tomorrow, probably tonight, I will go over the universal model of change. I'm going to literally get a chart and I'm going to draw this out. I'm going to make it visual for some people that would be easier for you to understand. Some people, I'm going to draw it out. And so we don't need to crash. You don't need to have this happen. You don't need to hit rock bottom. There's actually a different way. There's a way to skip. I know that's hard to believe. Reverend Michael Beckwith was talking about this. There's a way to skip. I think it's called Satori. There's a way to skip the crashes. There's this way to skip the pain by making the decision you need to make. And then you don't even crash at all. You just go from here to here to here, or from here to here to here. You don't need a crash, but you got to listen. So type in the comments here, what is your breakthrough from this? What's the number one breakthrough you got from this message today? And how is this going to help you create an even better life? I'm here to support you. We're going to have this daily conversation about this and other things. Anyhow, my friends, God bless you. I love you guys. And see you on the next chat. Comment here. I'd like to know what was the biggest thing you got from today's video. All right. And if you want, you can always inbox message me, or some of you have my phone number. Text me. Send me a message here on Facebook or Instagram or wherever it is. Get a hold of me. All right. I love you guys. Talk to you guys soon.